Alright guys, and welcome to my next video. This video is going to be a little review, and I'm going to shed some light on my thoughts on the new DLC for Shadow of Mordor, which is called Bright Lord. The Bright Lord DLC follows Celebrimbor, who is also a character that we've played as in the main story. He's the elf that worked with Sauron and was the original forger of the One Ring and the Rings of Power. Basically, you play as Celebrimbor, and it's based before Shadow of Mordor. So it's when him and Sauron were in conflict after he made the One Ring, and Sauron basically kidnapped his family and his kids and stuff. The DLC for me was very disappointing. There's a lot of things in it that was changed from the original Shadow of Mordor game. For example, the combat system. It's been changed quite a bit, where in the Shadow of Mordor you could use the Wraith World to your advantage, and you could use certain combat moves like the bow and arrow in slow motion in the Wraith World. It was very handy to have. In this DLC, you don't have no slow motion. There's not really much emphasis on stealth kills. It's mainly down to dominating an Uruk and taking control of him. Also, in this DLC, there's an option you get where whatever amount of Uruks you dominate, you can press like a key binding on the PC. Obviously that's what I'm playing on. You press U and you spawn 5 Uruks that you are in command of, and they help fight you. They come to your aid, which is very overpowered on your end, and it kind of took away from the difficulty of Shadow of Mordor, which is one of the things I actually loved about the original game. Another big issue I have with the game is that from the start of the DLC you have the One Ring, and when you activate that when you're in battle, especially fighting war chiefs and stuff, once you turn that on, your sword glows blue and you have unlimited amount of finishers, so you can keep spamming the finisher button. So that would be the F key for me. You can keep spamming that and it will take everybody out. It is an unblockable move. Like, nobody can block it, not even the war chiefs. And another thing, speaking of the war chiefs anyway, the fucking DLC is just, you go to a certain area, you take command of a couple of Uruks in that area, and then you build a tower. These are the towers that you see that are broken down, that you only see in the Wraith World and Shadow of Mordor. However, once you've done that there, all you do is you kill, or sorry, you don't kill, you dominate the 5 war chiefs, and the war chiefs actually don't change in this DLC because obviously they're a part of the story. So you dominate the 5 war chiefs that Sauron has, and that's it. You call Sauron out, and that's it. You have a battle with him at the end of the DLC, and that's all the fucking DLC is. Major disappointment. The Monolith advertised it as, you know, being crucial to the story. Don't get me wrong, there is good points, you know, because it fills the gap in the story, but the thing is, they advertised it as being very story driven, where not much happens. Basically, when you build the tower, a few words are exchanged between Celebrimbor and Sauron, where basically Celebrimbor calls him out, and that's it. That's all the fucking DLC is. As far as the story goes, once you fight Sauron anyway, it obviously people who played Shadow of Mordor are gonna know it. It bridges the gap in the story, where essentially at the end of the DLC you see Celebrimbor obviously be banished from dying and being kept forever in Mordor, and it's just shows the opening cutscene of Shadow of Mordor, where you see Talion and his family getting attacked at the start of Shadow of Mordor, and that's obviously how the game starts. So it blends perfectly into the story of Shadow of Mordor. Very disappointing DLC. I'm glad that I picked up the collector's edition of Shadow of Mordor cheap on GTA.com, because if I had went out of my way to pay for this DLC, I would have been pissed. It's not long, there's not much to it. It's nice to get a bit of story implementation, but you know, as far as it goes, the bigger picture, there's not much there. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the DLC. So until next time, goodbye. Please check out my latest videos on YouTube.